Hello and welcome to 2,000 Points of Space Wolves. It's a battalion detachment. So first up we've got a troops choice of 14 Blood Claws. There's one Flamer in there. The Wolf Guard leader's got a Frost Axe and the Blood Claw pack leader has a Power Axe. Fast attack choice, we've got 10 Sky Claws. We've got a Sky leader with a Frost Axe and a pack leader with a Power Axe. There's no plasma pistol metal gun in there, but they're on the models. In elites, we've got Murderfang. Everyone knows what he does, so we'll see how he gets on in the game. We've got Lucas the Trickster as a little character model to buff the Blood Claws. The Warlord is Ragnar Blackmane, and I'm going to be trying the new Warlord trait from Chapter Approved, which is Saga of the Warrior Born. So that lets him go first in close combat, even if he didn't charge. So that'd be quite fun. Two troops choices behind him. It's two squads of 5 Grey Hunters with a plasma gun in each. We've got a Rune Priest here with a Psychic Hood, I believe, and a Runic Axe. And the squad of 5 Wolfham. The pack leader's got Frost Claws. 2 members have the Great Frost Axe, and 2 have the Thunder Hammer and Storm Shield loadout. We've got a Storm Wolf Flyer. That's with double multi-melter, twin las cannon, and the twin Hellfrost Destructor. And finally, a Land Raider Redeemer. So that's got the Flamestorm cannons and an assault cannon. So we'll see how this gets on. Hope you enjoy.
Okay, so today I'm going with the Genestealer Cult. Really looking forward to give these a go now that the Chapter Approved has come out. I'm going with the battalion setup, and so for my HQ I'm going with the 3 units, so 2 units of the Patriarchs and 1 Primus. And then for troops, thought I'd go with my old classic. I'm going with 2 units of 10 of the Neophytes with 2 las cannons in each, and then 6 units of Acolyte Warriors. Pretty much all of them have got a drill in there, apart from the big unit, which is going with the drill. But the big unit got a lot of hand flamers, and 2 of the other squads have got some hand flamers as well. And I thought I'd give something different a try, and that is the Aberrants. Never really used them in 8th yet, and I want to give them a try and see how they fare. So I thought, why not? Let's give them a try. Going with the picks and the hammers, and then for dedicated transport, I've got 2 Goliaths. Now, I am going with the demolition charges. Looking on paper, they look really cool, so I want to give them a try. And then I've got 2 Leman Russes with battle cannons, and then just with the heavy bolts inside. So I just give this a whirl. Really looking forward to this. And I know the Space Wolves can really cause a lot of damage. And I think I've got what it takes to take them on. Let's see how we go. Okay, so we're going to roll off to see who is going to start deploying first. So, I've gone with a 2. 2-2. Let's go again.
Come on.
3. Can I beat it? 3.
Classic Warhammer.
We can see how this is going already. 6 versus my
go.
1. Now, Tristan did finish deploying his units first, so it does mean now he will get the +1 onto a seize the initiative. So mission type, we are going with Tactical Gambit. Never played this one before, and I'm really looking forward to trying out some new missions. And this is one of the missions from the new Chapter Approved. So the idea behind this is, before you pull any tactical objective cards out, first of all you start off with 4 tactical objectives, but before you pull those out, you've got to estimate how many victory points you're going to score. If you say, I'm going to score 4 tactical objectives and only manage to score 2, you get to keep the 2 tactical objectives, but the 2 that you've overestimated go to your opponent. So now this starts making you think, can I physically take it or not? If you say you cannot say you're going to score 0, but if you say you're going to score 1 tactical objective and you actually score the 4, you only get to have 1 extra tactical point to yourself. So let's see how this plays off. Now we're going to roll off to see who is going to go first. So Tristan, are we ready?
Let's do it.
So you do get the +1. There's the 6. 2. I think I'm going to go first, mate. I don't know why, but I think I'm going to have to go first with the Genestealer Cult.
Can I seize the initiative?
Ooh.
Nearly, but not quite.
I was thinking about that, Lynn. It's like, can you? Oh. Yes, nearly. Right, let's go into Genestealer Cult's first turn. Okay, so end of of my movement phase. Did get lucky on some of my rolls, and I have used a couple of my command points in just getting some of the just re-rolling some of the troops. So for instance, my Primaris, we're within the 9 inches from his lovely little flyer. The Patriarch rolled a 6, so I get to move normally, pulling myself a little bit further forward. Now the ones that I really needed to do something was the Pure Strain Genestealers. Now unfortunately I scored very low too, so which meant they ended up over towards here. Movement wise, Liam Russes are just sitting put. The Goliaths have pulled themselves forward. Now objective wise, I've got Hold the Line, which I need to score. I can't do it this turn because I've got to have 3 units with my table edge and none within the opponents. And then Dominate, which was to use some psychic spells, which I will get that off this turn. Supremacy, which is the score D3 victory points if you control any 3 objective markers. Now, I didn't think about this as I was setting up, so tactically that's kind of probably a little bit silly. And Blood and Guts. Now, I estimated before rolling, before pulling the cards, I was going to get 2 objectives. And I should have really thought about this a little bit more when coming to deploying. So I kind of forgot myself a little bit and started pulling myself away from the objectives. So I might end up regretting my moves shortly. But let's see how we go. So we're going to move into the Psychic phase. Okay, so for Psychic wise, did manage to cast off Smite into the Dread and popped him down to 5 wounds left. Quite happy on that. One thing that only just dawned upon myself once casting through the Psychic spells, I did forget, and this is a really big schoolboy error, and I will remember this for next time. I did forget to pay the points for their little buddies, for their little familiars, which would have allowed me then to cast a couple of extra spells off. But lesson to be learned, and I will pay the price later on. So let's go into Genestealer's shooting. Okay, so end of shooting. Didn't do too bad with the Lieben Russes. Did pop a couple of wounds off onto the Land Raider, and my little Goliaths over there did pop a couple of wounds with the autocannons onto the Land Raider, but Tristan, like a boss, just saved him, shrugged him off. Unfortunately, everything else is kind of out of range at the moment to shoot everything. So a couple of schoolboy errors on setting up. I think I kind of got a bit too eager with my rolls from the Genestealer Cult Ambush. One of them being these over here. So I've just been told that is flying, so I cannot charge that. You would think I'd have learnt by now that what I can and can't do with this unit. So I'm kind of a lot of schoolboy errors going on. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and charge, first of all, the Patriarch and his bunch of merry men into the Dreadnought. Any Overwatch from the Dreadnought?
Yeah, we've got Stormbolter and Heavy Flamer.
So Stormbolter and Heavy Flamer. Right, let's go.
Stormbolter, no hits. And the Heavy Flamer, that's 3. Strength 5, what's your toughness?
3.
So, 3s. That's 2 wounds at -1.
2 wounds. Alright. So 2 have perished. Okay, so what do we get on the roll? A 4. Oh, we should be in there. Awesome. Okay, so end of combat. The Dreadnought hasn't lost any wounds at all. However, I am now lacking 3 Acolyte Warriors. Tristan has used 2 command points to interrupt the combat to knock them off first, which I don't blame, because to be fair, I think I would have done the same thing, because they potentially could have done a lot of damage with those drills. Okay, so let's go into Tristan's first turn. Oh, score cards at the end of that game. And I didn't score any points, which does mean that Tristan has scored 2 because I failed to score any objectives, and I did say I was going to score 2 cards. So it does put Tristan up to a nice early start to first 2 objectives. Okay, so end of movement for Tristan. Now he's gone with his guess of 2, and he doesn't think. How many do you think you'll be able to get, Tristan?
I think I can definitely get 3. 5 is a gamble.
5 is a gamble. So what have we got? Dominate, Domination. You've got Priority Orders, Objective Marker 2. objective marker 5, sorry, and objective marker 3. So 3 being there, 5 being over there even.
Which can only be achieved by the wall.
Yes, I think we need to flip the 5 and the 2 over, don't we?
Yeah.
Make it a little bit easier to see. It's Wolfen had jumped out of the land ready before it moved off, and I think they're eyeing up some lovely Acolyte warriors over there, which I think I'm going to feel confident I'm going to survive it. Let's wait and see. Right, let's go into shooting. So, end of movement for Tristan. He's decided he's going to use a command point on Cunning of the Wolf, which is one of the new stratagems out of the chapter approved. And what he's done, he's cheekily brought his wolf in just here. Now, the rules state that it's going to be 6 inches off any table edge, and long as it's more than 9 inches away from an enemy unit, which is just over here. Now, so potentially he's not going to be able to do anything in combat-wise this turn, but what he is doing, he's buffing up the Space Marines over here. He's jump guys. I've got my names. Skyclaws. That's it. Spitting my words out. Skyclaws. And what does that do, Tristan?
So any Bloodclaw type unit, it gives you. So any Bloodclaw type unit, they suffer the curse of the Wolfen within 12 inches, so that lets them reroll their charge range, which is pretty nifty.
That's horrible.
And give them +1 attack in combat as well.
That's horrible. Alright, let's see how we go. So, end of shooting. I think you done about as well as I did, didn't you, Tristan, on shooting?
Pretty much.
So, the Land Raider done 2 wounds on the Goliath. And then on the Flyer, only 2 multi-melters hit, which only done 3 damage on one of the Lehman Russes. And then over in the corner, we have lost a couple of the Acolyte warriors over there, but this one did hurt me. I did lose 6 of my neophytes quite easily to bolt guns.
From Bloodclaws, that should be happening.
Bloodclaws of all things. But to be fair, I'm weak in toughness, so I don't blame it. Okay, so let's go into combat and let's see how we go. Okay, so end of combat. We did get a couple of lucky shots in the Overwatch and did reduce his 5-man squad down to the 1, and then his Captain Sorcery dude did go into combat, did do quite a bit of damage into combat, did manage to hit back. Now, we did think that if he had failed a couple of 5+ invans, that he was going to be a goner, toast, dead, gone. What does he do? He rolled up 2 5-up invans, saved it like a boss. The Patriarch and the Dreadnought, well, as you can see, one was a winner, one was a loser, and unfortunately I was the loser. The surprising thing over here, however, they did not manage to pull off the charge. So it does mean they're now left open to be absolutely picked upon by all the lovely goodness that's floating around, just waiting to take their chance on them. Okay, so for movement, I've used a command point and I've moved my Aberrants back into the shadows, and I've pulled my Genestealers, Pure Strain Genestealers further up to try counteract his filthy little dudes on the jetpack. So my thought behind that is I should be able to have enough in combat to at least deal with those. That's my thought anyway. Over here, because I've got to get 2 objectives this turn, so what I've done, I've moved my Goliath flat out to get objective marker 1, the Aberrants are on objective marker 2, and hopefully I'll hold this objective here. That's the plan anyway. And then the Flyer, the Lehman Russes are going to try pummel the hell out of his Flyer. I'm going to hope I can pop it this turn and then just deal with the stuff inside. And then that's pretty much everything on the movement side. So over in the back corner, still over there. Let's go into psychic and shooting. So my shooting has been absolutely diabolical. However, we have managed to get the Flyer down to 8 wounds. I only need to get 1 more wound off it to start making it being a bit poopy. But I can't seem to hit it. And if I do wound it, he just saves it. So tactically, I needed to sort that out. I just
The battle well.
the battle cannons have done really well, and I did remember to shoot twice this turn, which is handy. On another note, the hand flamer did pop off the little dude on his own, and over here we did kill off 3.
3 of them.
So it's going to soften up the blow for my pure strains coming into him. Psychic wise, did manage to get Psychic Smite off, and I did manage to take one out with Psychic Smite. Let's go into combat and let's see how we go. So combat over here, we kind of expected the outcome here. They did clean house and we did remove all the jump pack Space Marines. So I'm kind of happy on that. It does remove some of the threat. Just got to worry about the threat that's coming up next turn. Over here, we had some epic dice rolling going on. Rolled a double 6 for the wound, and he made a double 6 for the save, for his invulnerable save. So it kind of nullifies it. Gutting. I thought that would have been it. I thought that would have been me taking him out, but unfortunately that puts us toe to toe for another round of combat. Let's see how it goes. So just a recap on the objective scored. So I did get score objective marker 1, and I also got hold 3 objective markers. So I estimated that I was going to do 2, so I guessed for 2, scored objective marker 1, and I did get supremacy. So that's my 2 points that I've got. So it's not giving any to Tristan, but I also did get blood and guts. Now because of the gambit, I don't get the points for blood and guts, but I do get the 2 for supremacy and score objective marker 1. The battle is now heating up. Tristan's gone into his movement phase, and he has pulled his flyer over, but beforehand chucking out the goodness inside. Ouch, going to be deciding they're going to take upon the cult themselves by hand-to-hand combat, because I'm hoping they're going to fail at their shooting. Hoping. New tactical objective, behind enemy lines. And now he did estimate he was going to get 2 objective cards this turn. So let's see how we go. Psychic wise, he has attempted to cast off Perils of the Warp. I wished. He did try to cast off Smite. Smite didn't go off and he got 1 and 2. But you did cast off a Blizzard thing, which adds 1 for me to hit him. So it makes things a little bit trickier.
It's called Tempest Wrath.
Tempest Wrath, that's the one. We'll pretend this is the Masquerade Blizzard swirling around the dude in the centre there. Okay, let's go into shooting. So, a quick recap after shooting. We have got some units now gone into assault as well. So, a quick recap on shooting. Land Raider did split his attacks. 1 set of heavy flamers into the Goliath, and 1 set of flamers into the Genestealers, which he did get a couple of wounds, but I did save him. Double 5s,
Yeah, it's great.
which is awesome on that. And then the auto cannon over to the other Goliath, didn't manage to wound. And then just remember what's going on now. So the flyer managed to take a couple more hull points off the Lehman Russes. So one's down, lost 4 hull points, and then the other one's lost 5 wounds, not hull points anymore. Got to remember this. So what happens when you play too much 30k and then you switch to 40k, you kind of get mixed up a little bit. But long and short, he didn't do too bad with the flyer. Has managed to kill a couple of dudes off the top, and assault wise, the Blood Claws have charged into the little 5-man squad over here, and then his captain has charged over to the bunch of merry men over here. Let's see how we go in combat. I'm hoping I can withstand a round of combat. If not, he's going to pay for it the next round. Combat is getting brutal. Unfortunately, I have nothing left in this back quarters. My Primus and his 2 little acolyte buddies was absolutely smashed to pieces by these horrible little wolfen over here, or your Longfangs.
Grey Hunters.
Grey Hunters even. You can tell how much I use
But
and play
it was the
Space Force.
Dreadnought, really, that did it.
Yes, the Dreadnought did come rocking over there, done him over, smashed him into the ground, gutted. Over here, the cheeky little Land Raider did manage to put a wound into my back, gutted. Did manage to wound him back, but he saved it.
Yeah.
Gutted.
Well, it took one off.
It did take one over. Now, the funniest bit was over here. Now, the Goliath was the only thing to wound the guys. So, as I see it, as they've gone in to do some damage, one of them slipped, banged his head against the side, and he's dead as a doornail for his silliness. That's all I can put it down to. And then over here, Ragnar in the centre, he did kill off 3 dudes.
Yeah.
I didn't manage to do anything in return. Then over here, the Pure Strain Genestealers against the Wolfen, which I know I've got right this time. How can you forget the names of these horrible beasts? They've managed to kill 1, but in his anger, he turns around and takes another one of my Pure Strain Genestealers left, which is just leaving me with 3 Pure Strains left with the Patriarch in the centre. And then over here, I did lose a couple into shooting. I did roll on my initiative, and I did lose another 4. No, I didn't. I passed that, didn't I? Do apologise. I did pass on the morale, and everything else I passed, apart from... That's it. No, sorry. I did lose 2 on morale just over here. Okay, let's go into the Genestealers. Hopefully, we can start turning things around. And before I forget, on objectives, Tristan did get hold the line, and he did get behind enemy lines. So we've got 3 units over there. He did roll a 1, so that's 1 extra victory point, and he's got 3 units over here in his own deployment. So he guessed 2, he got 2. That means he scores 2, and I don't get any cheeky ones this turn. Moving into the Genestealer Cults next turn, I've brought my Aberrants out from the shadows, rolled a 5, so I'm nicely perched right behind the Land Raider. Hopefully going to be going in for a cheeky charge when I get into it. Okay, I've got a plan with this one, second one. I've been cheeky and I have pulled them out of combat with the Space Wolves, which then allows me to pull my Acolytes out of the vehicle. And I'm hoping now going to put a few shots, and hopefully the dice are going to be in my favour on this one, and I'm going to be able to whittle those down with the Acolyte Warriors. Now it also does mean that I get to have a few cheeky shots from the tanks, and with the ability to shoot twice. I'm going to hopefully put 2 shots into his flyer, and then the heavy bolters into the troops, which then also leaves my mining lasers, hopefully open them up as well. I just want to cry. So shooting wise, things are not going into my favour. Dice are not in my side. Managed to kill a couple of more of the little wolf dudes over here. The battle cannons didn't manage to wound at all with the heavy bolters, so heavy bolters shot into those, and then the battle cannons double shots into the flyer, and I managed to hit him once, wound him once, and he saved it on a 6+. Whew. I just can't seem to get it down, that 1 extra wounds just to lower it down. Oh, but I do have, and I've already fired him, and he missed. Terrible. Then I thought maybe I could do something with Smite, and I failed to pull it off on the psychic ability. This is going not too well. So hopefully now going into combat, let's hope I can do some in combat. Otherwise, I'm really starting to lose the game very, very quickly if things don't change around into my favour. We do apologise on this part. Unfortunately, when recording, the mic did just give off a loud hissing. So unfortunately, we only realised this when it come back to editing. So this is just me giving a recap on how the combat went. So going into combat, my dice rolls on this turn were just not very hot at all. So with my Patriarch, 6 attacks, only 2 managed to wound on the actual wolf in itself. So 2 actually hit, sorry. And then on the wounding, I did manage to get 2 wounds in there. But this is the shocker. He just absolutely saves them. And it's just like, if I didn't get it off with the Feel No Pain, if he didn't get off with his invulnerable save, he got off with the Feel No Pain, which was absolutely gutting. And I just did terribly not very well at all on this. So as you can see, with the Tristan's now just about to make a save and throw. So a 1. And then going in with a feel no pain. There you go. It says it all. So he just absolutely shrugs it off on the feel no pain. 3 damage from the claws. And he just saves it on the feel no pain, which was just absolutely gutting. He just... Yeah, nothing I can really say upon this one. The combat just didn't go in my favour at all, which I was absolutely gutted. You know, on paper I technically should have done a lot better than I did. But it is a dice game. And unfortunately, in this combat phase, the dice just was not in my favour. Now this also does mean that I didn't manage to score any points at the end of this turn, which I was absolutely gutted for, because I really needed to score some points to pull myself back forward. Okay, so for movement, so we've got some little jiggery pokery going on with the flyer. The flyer's decided it's going to now go into hover mode, turn around, and he's going to go for the Lehman Russes. Now, really good little tactic here. He knows that next turn, because these dudes are going to be in combat with the Lehman Russes, there's not really much going to be shooting back at that. It's flyer. Now, I'll have one little dude over here, but the chance of him hitting is 50-50, because he's going to be hitting on 4s. So the chance of me hitting him and actually doing some damage, I can probably do it, but am I going to destroy him? Not really. So it's well worth taking the risk. And then over here, so Tristan has guessed that he's going to go for 4 objectives. So we've got objective marker 5, objective marker 6, mission critical, which he rolled a 4. So he's moved over to 6. He's moved over to 4, and then his warlord is moved over to 2. Sorry. And Luke's as the trickster is now moving over to 5. So I'm pretty confident he's going to get this, but I'm really hoping that he fails some of these, because I could really do scoring some points back for him. Because at the moment we're looking at 3 to 6. Tristan is really running away with this, and I'm losing too many models too quickly, and I'm really struggling to keep up with him. So let's go on. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
So this is where Tristan's rolls are getting much better than mine in shooting.
I forced the wound. Nothing there.
Did I just curse your dice?
Yeah. And then 2 from the strength 8 Hellfrost cannons into him. 1 hit. Forced the wound. No wounds there, so he's okay. 2 multi-melters into this. We roll the 1 because I'm near the warlord.
Yep.
So 2 hits, and I need 4s for the multi-melters. That's 1 wound that goes through. So I think that's within 12. Just, yeah, from the hull. So it's 2d6 pick the highest. So it does 3 damage.
AP.
It's -4 as a melter.
So no saves on that whatsoever.
So that is on... It's taken 7. So we need another dice for that.
Start counting that one down. Down.
Okay.
It's a bit worse down.
And the las cannon, 1 shot hits, 3's the wound. That's -3, so he gets a 6 up save against that.
Come on, 6s. Here we go.
Yay!
Makes a change. Any more shooting? Alright, let's go for combat, my friend. Where are we going?
He's going to charge then.
Okay, so Luke's trickster completely trying to kill those guys off so he can then capture objective marker 5. That's the plan anyway. So let's do some overwatching. So we're going to go with 2 of the las guns. I'm going to rapid fire. So he needs 6s, and we've got none. Come on. Okay, so we're going to go with the las cannons now. The mine lasers. Nothing. You can't really fail your thing. And there it is. He's in. This is going to hurt.
Do I want to charge those tanks? Could hurt.
It could hurt.
Let's multi-charge. Let's have fun. I'm going to charge all 3 tanks.
Ooh.
Haha.
I like that. Going brave. Right. So, not moved. So the battle cannon can fire twice.
Technically on Overwatch, I don't know.
Still need 6s to hit you.
Yeah.
But let's see what we get. Ooh, so that's not that great. So it's 3. Okay. Let's see what we can do.
6s.
Come on, 6s.
Yuck.
1. 1 6.
6 to wound.
Okay, there's the 1.
6 up save. No.
Nope.
1 dice.
I didn't see the SN roll in the middle, so I knew I was all right there. Okay, so then the heavy bolters. So 2 lots of those. Oh, look at that. There's the 3 6s. Awesome. Okay, so needing 3s. And that is 3 wounds.
So 4 ups. 2 more there go down.
Oh, that's working in my favor.
Go there.
Okay, so then the Goliath. So we're going to go with the heavy stubber. Nothing on the heavy stubber. And then we're going to go with the auto cannon. Oh, nothing.
They're in. 1 tank each.
I like it. There's bravery. And I think that is all the combat. Or anything that's charging into combat anyway.
Guys, thank you very much for taking the time to watch the battle. It has been an epic battle.
It's brilliant, yeah.
Probably didn't do it as well as I thought. A lot of schoolboy errors from myself, especially from building the army. That was kind of embarrassing straight away, especially when it comes to like the first objective. Thought, yeah, I've got this.
You know, it was a new mission though, wasn't it, from the newer chapter approved book? So
What did you think of it?
I thought it was really good. It shakes up a bit because you have to, in the particular mission we did, the Gambit mission, you have to nominate how many objectives you think you're going to achieve, and if you achieve them, great.
Yeah.
If you don't, those points get given to your opponents. So
that throws you off quite quickly.
yes,
I love now the fact that boots to the ground. That kind of it's going to stop a lot of flyers coming onto the scene, especially like with the Storm Raven lists.
Mm-hmm.
That's really going to stop a lot of that. And I did stop you at one point from scoring a point.
yes, it did. Stop my fly, stop my Storm Wolf.
So that's kind of handy for
that's
myself
good.
on that. However, we kind of finished the game where we did at the end of turn 3. There was no way I was going to pull that back. Tristan was well ahead, 10-3. I know I had very, very few units on the table. There was no way I could pull that back. Even if you...
I don't know, you had a few tanks left. Unfortunately, your Warlord had gone on the Genestealers, which were doing quite a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
But in terms of the objectives, I think...
Well, because you'd have got... so you're 10 points ahead, even if you scored 1 point each turn, because you could then be brave and say, I'm only going to go for 1. So it kind of stops me then steamrolling ahead.
Definitely.
You've already got Line Breaker. You had First Strike as well, or First Blood, and then and then you had Warlord as well. So you had all 3 of those. So,
I mean, those 3 objectives you can try to guarantee, but it's all down to the luck of the cards, I think, and the tactical objectives, especially with the Gambit. I mean, if you always choose 2, you might not want to risk only achieving 2. You might want to try and get 4, but if you don't do that, you give points away to your opponent. So it's very risky in that mission. I don't know. We have to try the other missions, I think, to
100%.
get like a 360 sort of view on how that book is with those new missions.
I think the Gambit one could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you're like neck and neck all the way through, then it comes really cool. But as soon as you start failing, then it kind of goes the other way.
The +1 to the deploying to see who goes first, if you've got a smaller army, I think is better than the I'm just going first because I have less units.
Yeah, because you can kind of have like some real powerful small list units guaranteed to go first, but now that kind of stops that. I prefer that. I like that.
Yeah, I do.
That's really, really cool.
I think it's good.
So we've decided on what our star units have been through the game. with no doubt, I'm guaranteed. You know what Tristan's decided his units were. 100% agree with him on that. It's
a strange choice. Land Raider Redeemer. It took a lot of firepower.
yes.
It was reliable in close combat. Strange enough. Yeah, it's got 6 attacks, hitting on 6s, but every time I had at least 2 hits, and it was dealing the damage out. It's strength 8, so that's pretty annoying. And the flamers are pretty good. Not many people run Land Raiders, and I think their stat variant was quite fun to run, and I've certainly never used it in 8th.
I think Land Raiders are really good.
Yeah, I mean 350-ish points. Yeah, but I think you get back what you put in.
They're very expensive point wise, but what you can tool them up with and the speed they travel
Absolutely,
at,
yeah.
they are
And keep
absolutely
firing
awesome.
at the speed.
They are absolutely awesome with the flamers on there as well. That made me think: do I want to charge you? Because there's a lot of flame attacks that are guaranteed are going to be hitting me. 2 flamers. So
and the assault cannon. Multi optional, but I didn't take that today.
see, that's horrible. That's a really horrible little setup. Why did you go with the Wolfen?
The Wolfen, everyone likes a bit of the Wolfen, don't they? If they're a Space Wolf player, you know they can buff the rest of your army. They can give you extra attacks,
Which was pretty cool.
Reroll charges. I've been using them since they came out in 7th, and the moving advanced charge thing is pretty naughty. The new stratagem for Space Wolves in the chapter improvement, where you can sort of come on from outflanking, made them quite naughty. Would you really?
Yeah, that was horrible.
1 command point, and you can just bring them on any table edge as long as they're no more than 9 inches away from the enemy, or like 6 on. So that can set. You can set up.
But they are chaos, really, though, aren't they?
No,
they are chaos.
They're not Dark Age, are they?
You sure?
No.
They're just werewolves. They're just werewolves.
I think they look chaosy. So, do I think they belong on the Imperium? No.
Anyway, so yeah, I chose them
Chaos
because
scum.
I think I chose them as one of my better units for obvious reasons. They hit like a truck. They've got loads of attacks, and they attack you again when they die.
That was the horrible bit about it. The fact he just went up against pure strains, 10 of them, and then come out with
a patriarch.
With a patriarch, and come out unscathed. Well, just losing one guy was kind of like, that really did bring a tear to my eye. I'm not going to lie.
It's the shields, and then it's the feel no pain roll that you get as well, which helps them.
How many points are they?
So they were pretty pricey. I think the loadout I'm running is 239 points now. They were by far way more expensive, but the chapter proofs has dropped them down by at least 60 points, I think, on that loadout. So they're much more manageable to fit in a list.
So you're well happy on that.
Yeah, I mean they're not towards the 300 point mark. They're more.
See, now I've gone up with same list that you've had before against the Brass Scorpion, and they did rip the Brass Scorpion apart. So, and then when you fielded them today, and I saw how close it got, I thought, yeah, I've come across these too many times now. I know exactly what dirtiness they can do, and I honestly thought the pure strain Genestealers would have been able to do something to yourself. But the fact that you just shrugged them off with the 3-up invuln,
it was the Storm Shields.
And then when you got the 3-up invuns off and you failed them, and it's like, here goes some feel no pain. There you go. And then would you get 5 free no feel no pains or something crazy like that?
I rolled 2 5s and a 6 and a string. You weren't happy. But anyway, with your units, I think the Lehman Russes were really good.
Yeah, I think the Lehman Russes were the only ones that actually managed to shoot and do something. However, my shooting in this game has been diabolical. I think I'm definitely playing the Genestealer Cult wrong. If anyone out there is watching this, has got any ideas, anything you'd like to see on the channel, please, would love to get your feedback. Any pointers that you want to chuck our way, I'd be more than happy to take on board. Any little things that I'm missing out, because I'm definitely playing this army wrong.
I think you need some purple dice.
I don't think purple dice.
Or 2 more Lehman Russes, I think.
Well, so we have got 2 more Lehman Russes coming for the channel. Gonna load them out a little bit differently than what they are at the moment. Whether that's going to work in my favour, I really hope so. The fact that now if they don't move or they don't go to the full movement speed, they can now start firing twice with the battle cannons. That's really good. That was horrible. And the Patriarch, I put him in there only because he looked cool, and the fact he stood up to the to the Wolfen as long as he did.
Yeah.
I think he definitely well deserved.
He ate
lot
unit
of spot.
Skyclaws himself, didn't he?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very true. Yeah, so those big nasty claws done all right.
He did.
very
well.
But guys, anyway, thank you very much for taking the time to watch the channel. We really, really do appreciate it. If you like what you see, please don't forget to like us on Facebook. We are on Instagram as well. And again, please you support us massively if you just like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget hit the little bell. So next time one of our videos come out, you'll be notified straight away. So again, thanks very much for taking the time to watch, and we'll catch you all soon.